Welcome to this lesson, Modern Teaching Approaches for TVET. In this lesson, we'll explore innovative methods for teaching that can help you create engaging, effective, and practical learning experiences for your students. By the end of this session, you'll have actionable strategies to make your lessons dynamic, student-centered, and aligned with the demands of vocational education. Traditional teaching methods often rely on lectures and rote memorization. While these can be effective for delivering information, they don't always help students retain knowledge or develop practical skills. In technical and vocational education, modern approaches are essential because they focus on active learning, encouraging students to apply what they've learned, collaborate with peers, and solve real-world problems. These methods prepare students not just for exams, but for the challenges they'll face in the workplace. One of the most effective approaches for TVET is project-based learning, or PBL. This method involves students working on real-world projects that require them to apply a range of skills to solve a problem or complete a task. Take this example: instead of teaching carpentry skills in isolation, you could assign a project where students design and build a small structure, such as a bench or a shed. Through this project, they'll learn not just how to use tools but also how to measure, plan, and ensure structural integrity. With PBL, students are actively engaged in their learning and see the immediate relevance of their skills. It also helps them develop teamwork, problem-solving, and time management abilities, all critical for success in the workplace. Project-based learning, PBL, in TVET. One of the most effective approaches for teaching in TVET is project-based learning, or PBL. This student-centered method involves engaging learners in real-world projects that require them to apply a range of skills to solve a problem or complete a meaningful task. Let's explore how PBL can transform your classroom. Key features of project-based learning. Real-world contexts. Students work on projects that mirror real-world industry challenges, making their learning practical and relevant. Skill integration. Projects require students to apply multiple skills, such as technical, problem-solving, communication, and planning abilities, rather than learning skills in isolation. Active engagement. PBL encourages students to take ownership of their learning by working collaboratively and creatively to achieve project goals. Critical thinking development. Students must analyze problems, evaluate solutions, and make decisions throughout the project, fostering critical thinking. Workplace readiness. PBL develops soft skills like teamwork, time management, and adaptability, traits that employers value highly. Benefits of PBL in TVET. Engages students. Students see the immediate relevance of their skills, increasing motivation and commitment. Encourages lifelong learning. By working on real-world tasks, students develop a mindset of continuous improvement and adaptability. Prepares for the workplace. PBL mimics workplace environments, helping students transition seamlessly into professional roles. Teaches time management. Students learn to prioritize tasks and meet deadlines, which is essential in any career. By incorporating project-based learning into your teaching, you not only prepare students for their trades, but also for the real-world challenges they'll face in their careers. PBL ensures that learning is not just about acquiring knowledge, but about applying it in meaningful, impactful ways. Another powerful approach is blended learning. This method combines traditional, in-person teaching with online learning tools, giving students the flexibility to learn at their own pace. Here's how it might look in a TVET classroom. You could record a video demonstrating a welding technique and share it online. Students watch the video before class and then practice the technique during your workshop session. This frees up time for hands-on practice and allows students to revisit the material as needed. Blended learning also makes vocational education more accessible, especially in developing countries where resources may be limited. With smartphones and internet access becoming more widespread, this approach can bridge gaps and reach more learners. The flipped classroom approach takes blended learning one step further. In this model, students learn theory at home and use classroom time for hands-on practice, collaboration, and problem-solving. Imagine you're teaching automotive repair. Instead of lecturing on engine mechanics in class, You could provide an online video or reading assignment for students to complete beforehand. When they come to class, they're ready to apply what they've learned by disassembling and reassembling an engine. The flipped classroom maximizes the time students spend practicing skills and gives you more opportunities to guide and support them during tasks. Another innovative approach is inquiry-based learning. This method encourages students to ask questions, investigate, and explore solutions, making them active participants in their learning. For example, you could present a scenario. You're tasked with building a structure in a region prone to heavy rain. What materials would you use and why? Students would research options, discuss their findings, and justify their choices, fostering critical thinking and problem solving. Inquiry-based learning helps students develop independence and confidence, preparing them to tackle complex challenges in their future careers. Collaborative learning focuses on teamwork and peer interaction, which are essential skills in almost every industry. By working together, students not only learn from you but also from each other. One way to implement collaborative learning is through group projects. For instance, in an electrical training program, you might assign a group task where students design and install a basic wiring system. Each student takes on a specific role, such as measuring, connecting, or testing circuits. This mirrors the collaborative nature of most workplaces. Collaborative learning also builds communication and interpersonal skills, which are increasingly valued by employers. Each of these approaches, project-based learning, blended learning, the flipped classroom, inquiry-based learning, and collaborative learning, has its strengths. The key is to choose the right method for your students and your subject matter. For instance, if your students are beginners, you might start with hands-on demonstrations and collaborative learning. As they gain confidence, you could introduce inquiry-based learning to encourage critical thinking and problem-solving. Remember, these approaches aren't mutually exclusive. You can combine them to create a rich, varied learning experience that keeps students engaged and motivated. Before we move on, take a moment to reflect on your current teaching practices. Which of these approaches are you already using? Which ones would you like to try? Thank you for completing this lesson. Modern teaching approaches are powerful tools for vocational educators, helping you prepare students not just for exams, but for meaningful, rewarding careers.